Coming up on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. And I'm going to just show you this sign. Be the spark. And you can be the spark because you're going to meet a couple of sparks that you're going to really follow. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this important message. Okay, with me in the studio is Lindsay Dyba, who is the CEO of a wonderful organization. What is it called?
It's called Futures Explored.
Futures Explored. We'll have to explore that. Mm-hmm. And next to her is Hester Wagner, who is a director of media, film, TV, right. And what?
Well, I oversee our programs that train individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to have careers in film. So it's a very exciting program.
Is that what the drives of your organization in total?
Yeah.
Well, our drive is to serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and we do that in a number of different ways. We have programs like Hester's that support people to learn how to work in the film industry and find jobs in the film industry. We have programs that are supported employment that help people get training and find jobs in any industry that they want. We have programs that support people to be involved and active in their communities in whatever way they want to do that. Mm-hmm. And we have programs where people who have a lot of medical needs are able to be out of their homes and at our program facilities and also in the community living their lives.
Wow. Your programs have programs. I like it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really interested because I'm glad you came, Hester, because it's film and television. People think, oh, they just switch something on and on. But there's an immense amount of collaborative work that goes on in that. And I can see that collaboration is one of the key words, I think, in your world.
Yeah, I think that's very true. So, Futures Explored has been around for over 60 years now. And I think since the beginning, our mission has always been about, access and equity. Access, of course, that's why we're here today. Mm-hmm. But really helping people to, find their place in the community, to educate the community, to provide inclusion. So there's a number of different ways that happens. And our film program has been here in Sacramento for just about 10 years. Mm-hmm. And you're right, filmmaking is largely collaborative. So as our students move through our program, there's a space for all sorts of different interests and skill sets to kind of find a niche and find a place where they can thrive and succeed. So whether you're a technical person or a creative person or an analytical person or, somebody who loves, physical kind
mm-hmm.
of labor and things like that. Filmmaking has all of that. You have everything from craft services to camera to grip to acting. Like all of those things go into it. So I think one of the things all of our programs do is we take a very person-centered approach. So we have a person who is interested in whatever they're interested in, and we meet them where they are, and we explore those goals, and we lean into what it is they want to do and then support them on that journey.
Fascinating how you say whatever they're interested in. I mean, the whole idea of the will to participate may be said you would have a wider scope of possibilities, because in filmmaking, there's a lot of jobs behind this. There are 3 people here, and I think that there are about 6 or 10 people out there right now, right on that side of the camera.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's fascinating. How do you find and put together this kind of participation system? Is there like pre-development programs? How's that work?
So like Hester said, we sort of meet people where they are. So we have a wide range of services that we provide. So in employment for someone, for instance, who's looking to get a job or a career, we might start, they might already know what they want to do. So we might start with job development, which is helping them identify companies they might like to work for, helping them apply for those companies, preparing for interviews, going to interviews with them if they want that. Once they have a job, doing things like helping them get accommodations at work. We provide job coaching as an extra support for them to learn to do their jobs or navigate social situations at work. We might also start even before that job development phase. If someone's never had a job, we might start with doing some job exploration or some identification of their strengths and the things that they like to do and don't like to do to help them even a step before that determine what kind of job they even want to have.
Jobs. So tell me the age range of this services you provide.
We can serve 18 and over. Generally, it's 22 and over, and it's we have people who we've been working with for decades and are in their 60s, and we have people who are just out of or older, and we have people that are just out of high school or just out of transition school.
Fascinating. And about the television part of it, are you like the director? Do you direct every one of the films? And what do they make? The edit? Do they? Give me a picture of it.
Yeah, so the kind of day-to-day for our students, right now we have about a little under 40 students. And as they go through the program, they have classes. So they're choosing classes in editing and directing, in production, in writing, all of those different things.
And writing.
Yeah, all of it.
Imaginative thing. Okay.
Absolutely. And then as we go through that, we have in-studio production. So a lot like student films, right? So they'll write something, they'll be a student director. You know, we go through the whole process, and we create a number of student films, you know, kind of smaller films throughout the year. And then we also have a production company, so we get hired by clients to create video content, a lot of corporate video, talking head, B-roll type videos, and our students are able to work and get paid on those productions. And we're building that company to where about 25% of our students are getting paid work every year, which has been really great. So a little bit of everything. So sometimes, like, we have a great team of professionals. They're all active filmmakers in the Sacramento community, so that networking is there. We have great collaborations with places like Access. We submitted to the place called Sacramento Writing Festival, Script Festival. So, you know, so hopefully we'll get to do something with that. So I think there's such a vibrant community here. A lot of people come to our program and they think, oh, filmmaking, like we have to move to New York or LA to do that. And you don't, right? Like we know this. So there's a lot of opportunity here. We've had students that have been in our program long enough that they're connected to a network and they make films on their own on the weekend. So I think there's a lot of threads that go throughout our program.
And the board of directors that supports you, it sounds like you've got a good army behind you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Futures as an agency, you know, like I said, we've been around for a long time. So we have a very supportive board of directors. We have a very supportive staff of employees and participants.
That's great. We have some slides. Let's look at some slides first, and it'll give me people, because we're talking, right?
Sure, yeah.
We're talking heads. So let's have some visual. It's TV, by the way.
That's right.
Oh, look at that. What's that?
So we have just moved into a new building in downtown Sacramento on R Street. It's the old Mill Supply building, a lot of people may know, and then it was the Hacker Lab. And now all of our Sacramento programs are moving into that space. So our supported employment and film and media is and will be there. So it's really exciting to be downtown and to kind of launch that and to raise money for, you know, kind of helping get it going. We're having an event on April 26th. It's called Be the Spark. And it's just a chance for people to see our space and explore our vision with us and kind of help us launch this new era of being downtown.
You'll like it. I think downtown Sacramento, over the years that I've been there, has really popped up. And what's this slide?
So this is one of our student productions, like I was talking about, for our film and media students. They were doing a Christmas horror Italian giallo style film. I won't give away the ending, but I think Santa didn't meet a good end in this film. We also had the opportunity to work with the great Vernon Wells. He was in town, and we filmed. You can see on there's a director that is on Zoom. So he was in town, the director was in Colorado, and we filmed a scene at our studio for him. And that was really exciting. Our students got to meet Vernon Wells.
And this is one of our supported employment participants. So he is at his job at Target. So this, he is employed by Target. Target pays him. He has a job just like all the other employees at Target, the same benefits, the same pay as everyone else there. It's another participant in our supported employment program. And so these participants, we may have helped them get these jobs, and then they have job coaches who come and help support them at work.
And crossing over both of our departments, Jenny is filming the sitcom Gary and Jane, which you'll see later after the show, but she also has been in a number of our different programs with education and employment. The Grove is a found footage horror film that we filmed in Ride, California at the Ride Hotel, and it's actually getting distribution on a horror streaming channel very shortly. It's about to launch, and it'll be our first distributed film.
You could
that
do
we
a
did.
film festival on shows that have just been shot at that hotel.
I know, right? It was such a great space.
The
And-
Ride Hotel.
That's right. We got to stay there for 3 nights. It was really cool. And then here's some of our students celebrating their work at the Tower Theater. So we'll have a premiere once or twice a year locally, and everybody's invited to come to those. Yeah.
Is there a way that students who are having trouble, I really want to do this, but I have trouble, how do you work with students? Because it seems to me that for this community that you've just described, as people on the spectrum, if you will, from time to time they have problems so that impede their way forward to be a camera person or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it really depends on the person. As Hester said earlier, we take a really person-centered approach. So there are a lot of tools that we can use. We use role-playing, which is just kind of like practicing a situation and practicing how to respond in a certain situation. We use a lot of sort of skill building outside of the situation to like same as role playing, practice what it is that's going to happen and how to respond to that. And then we also tap into natural resources that may be around. So one of the services we have is supporting people to attend college. And so we will tap into the resources that are there at the campus through disability services, like extra time on tests or shared notes in a class or sitting in the front row. So there's a lot of kind of things that are just naturally available in any environment.
And also then working with people's families. So families can either be supportive or not.
Right, and families are a really great resource and tool in our toolbox for things that the person have worked for the person before, or things that haven't worked for the person before, the best way to support that person or communicate with that person.
And educating the community too, that like work doesn't have to look the way that it always has, and that maybe there's opportunities for, an employer to kind of broaden, how they're looking at their workforce, and realize that, somebody might be in a meeting and needs to walk around during the meeting, and that can actually be okay. And it, we don't have to like put everything into a box. So I think there's things on both sides that can grow and change.
I certainly find it as really heartening that, that this kind of thing can happen. In the days that I grew up, people who had these disabilities were shuttered away, and they didn't get, they had no direction in life, and this is a direction that people can find.
Yeah, and there's gifts that everybody has to offer the
one
community.
wonders why it was that way, but it was. So it's a fascinating, so you support their employment by projects, specific projects, and that's really nice. And there are other fields other than filmmaking and television that you work in?
Yeah, so it really, again, depends on the person. But some of the employers that we work with are UC Davis, Chevron, Sodexo, Kaiser, Safeway, smaller like independent or smaller owned stores. I'm kind of blanking on more, but really,
No, that's okay. It's kind of interesting
Amazon,
that you do you
Whole
place them?
Foods.
Do you help place them?
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our job development process. So we help fill out applications, follow up on interviews, all that stuff that
Okay.
goes into getting a job.
Okay. I guess enough talk. Maybe we should have a short break and we'll watch video about you, okay?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, thank you both. Here we go.
I am Mike Velotis, and I am a graphic artist.
I'm Michael Hancock. I'm a actor slash scare actor.
I'm Larry Glenn. I'm an actor slash production assistant.
I'm Harley Gephardt, and I'm a video editor.
I'm Caitlin Botti. I'm a photographer slash graphic artist.
I'm Matt Mendoza. I'm an editor slash graphic artist.
I'm Nicholas Jared Epstein. I'm a sound person and an editor.
I'm Jesse Raymond. I'm a sound mixer and special effects artist.
I'm Mike Kamor. I'm an actor and screenwriter.
I am Gavin Deep, and I am an editor.
I'm Mario Rodriguez, and I am a cameraman and editor.
I'm Ian Gayton, and I'm an assistant director.
I'm Colby Huggins. I am a camera operator and an editor.
I am Jenny O'Hara, and I am a voice actor.
I am Kat, and I'm a voice-over artist.
I'm Tommy Bussey, and I am a camera operator and a sound mixer.
I'm Andrew Adamson. I'm a screenwriter and post-sound editor.
I'm Michael Mondragon. I'm director and editor.
I am Jacob DeRose, and I am an actor.
I'm Tommy Steele. I'm a sound mixer, actor, and voice actor.
I'm Lorena Murray. I am an actress slash voice actress.
I am Joel Leone, and I am a director of photography.
I'm Jack Bowers, and I'm a camera operator.
I'm Kevin Anderson, and I am a screenwriter.
I'm Colin Hackman, and I'm a screenwriter and actor.
I'm Anthony Rosato, and I'm a writer and voice actor.
I am Matt Benbrook. I'm a screenwriter.
I'm Marcel Anselmo. I'm a writer and cinematographer.
I am Jason Jensen, and I am a film critic.
Hello everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Christina Hart, and I'm an audio crew member.
Hi, my name is Ben Jones, and what do I do for film is I'm an editor.
Hello, I'm Jenny Gately. I'm an aspiring voice actress and cartoonist.
I am Shure, Eddie Shure, actor, writer, composer.
Well, that was telling, if anything, about what the programming does. If you just tuned in, I'm talking with Hester Wagner, who's the director of media for this organization, and her co-worker is, what is her name? Hester?
Lindsay Dyba.
Lindsay, I'm sorry. Okay, got it all wrong. Cut.
It's not film, it's live.
Wait, this is live. Fascinating. I mean, this really just tells a tale to what you do and how you make it a little. Each one of those deliveries were strong, positive, straight at us.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to, for anybody, kind of going back to meeting a person where they are and what they want to do. And when you're exploring something that you want to do, you're a lot more motivated to do it, right? And I think a lot of times, like, we work with supporting people in employment, and the shift has been towards that person and what they want to do. Whereas historically, like you kind of mentioned before the break, moving away from, well, this is where you're allowed to be, or this is the box that we need to put you in. Yeah. When you're motivated, when you're excited, when you're passionate about something, you're more committed to do it. Like you're more, connected to it, and you're going to do a better job at it than if we say you have to work here because this is all that's available.
That's right.
So that shift has really happened in our field, and it's been really exciting. for us not only to work with our students and our participants and to help train them and prepare them for that, but also to work with the community and with employers to say, hey, there's this untapped, underemployed group of people who are ready, willing, able, passionate, interested in working, and you have job openings, so let's make that connection and let's put you together and get some people some work.
Make a deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating and really good. Now, this process, it seems like, let's take it and run it around, but it actually is running around California. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. This there are agencies like ours all around California
doing a similar kind of work.
Uh-huh. Yep. And also there's agencies that we focus mostly on kind of day services, so things that people do during the day outside of the home.
Yeah.
There are organizations that focus on helping people be independent and safe in their own homes, helping people plan for financial planning, for how to do laundry, how to live independently, how to budget. So it's someone with an intellectual disability can find any kind of support that they need in California at anywhere in the state.
And California is very much a lucky state because we have a piece of legislation called the Lanterman Act that has actually mandated that people with disabilities be provided the services that they need to live, work, and play actively in their community. So we're one of the only states that really has a great funding structure to help provide that support.
That's nice. Nice you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's true. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Good. And your new space, what do you foresee about your new beginnings?
Yeah, so the space on our street is going to be very awesome. Once we are able to build it out to what we want to do, we are going to have a fully operational film studio with a psych wall, sound booth, all the things, and it will be available to the community, so we can continue the partnerships like we have with you guys. We can create classes, we can have things, during the day, in the evenings, on the weekends. It'll be a fully functional studio space that is available in Sacramento. And then on the other side, we are going to have a screening room and event space. So it can be utilized for trainings, for evening events, for comedy shows, all sorts of cool things. We're going to have a cafe space that will be a break room and a food space, but also a training center for folks to learn about food service or learn about hospitality or any of the things we can do in that. And then we're going to have kind of a smart conference room, so people could use that for trainings and, with the fancy smart technology that can talk to your phones and all those fun things.
And what's great about that space is, on our street is that it's on the rail line. So you can actually, you don't have to be driven there or
Yes.
take a bus there,
Yes.
although people do. You can actually just get on the rail line and take it in.
Being central in the community is super important. A lot of our folks rely on public transportation, so being right there, it gives us a lot more access. I'll just keep using that word. To the community, to employers, to people that we can, connect with. So that goes both ways.
Good. And your connection to organizations like Access, Sacramento, they're all strong and good. And there are many other organizations in town that I find fascinating. I worked in Los Angeles, and there is a kind of discontinuity to the programs, and they don't know who's working up the street doing exactly the same thing. And so it's nice that we have a kind of centralizing discussions and events.
And it's a supportive community. We've been able to do internships here at Access. Another kind of piece of the employment process can be helping our participants find internships. And one of the other cool things about California is there's a whole, we won't go into the nuts and bolts, but there's a whole funding stream to create internship opportunities for individuals where the employer doesn't have to pay the salary for that internship. So the intern gets paid, they get the experience, they may need a little additional training before they're ready for the job, and this paid internship program kind of gives them the opportunity to get that experience. The employer kind of can say, oh, we're trying something out, we're exploring this option, we're broadening our horizons, and then hopefully that leads to competitive employment, that leads to a job for that person.
It is off question because we have very little time left, but I want to ask you personally, how do people get in, how do you get your job? I mean, how did you walk in, you were walking down the street one day and you thought, gosh, I think I'm going to work with disabled people and make them be able to have real lives, and you all of a sudden became that person.
Well, it's kind of a hidden industry. So most people who are in this field kind of fell into the field. That was my experience. I started as a job coach in college for some people that were working on the college campus. But it is a field that needs people working in it. So there are thousands of opportunities to start working in this field. It's a super rewarding job. It also can be very flexible, and it can really tie into your interests because there's such a wide range of ways that we support people. So everything from teaching people art, taking people out and about to the community, teaching people film skills. It's really, you can find a job that matches any interest and any schedule of availability.
Well, and Hester, you were walking down the street.
I was also walking down the street, and I ran into Lindsay. Yeah, so I mean, we've both been with Futures for a really long time, which I think speaks to just how passionate it can be as a career. I came into it as someone who studied theater and film, but at one point in time went like, I really love the teaching piece of it. I like that aha moment where people really connect to what they're doing. I like the support element. So that's kind of how I came into it. And then I studied applied theater. So using the arts to work with.
Applied theater?
Yeah. Using the arts, using theater, using film to connect to communities that may be underrepresented or underserved. So I started working in prisons. Then I started camps with kids with autism, and then here I am.
You both certainly have topped that idea of finding a way to serve the community, and something that is very heartfelt and given. Thank you both. I don't know how much. I have 30 seconds to go.
Hire us.
Hire our participants.
Come work with us.
Come work with us. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the name of your organization? Quick.
Futures Explored.
Futures Explored. Great. And there you go. I want to thank you two for coming on the program and talking to me about your wonderful jobs.
Thank you.
And about what you do, and everybody.
Have a great
Okay,
day.
that's it for today. We'll see you next week on LiveWire with more about our town.